is Fadana Toussaint, and I am here to speak about my experiences growing up in a religious ideal and how that affected my outlook on certain things such as sex. I identify with Catholicism. I'm Catholic. You know, like when you start discovering like a whole new world outside of religion, so you're like, okay, what did I grow up into? And then you start questioning, maybe your mom doesn't know everything. Maybe there's other ways to learn about certain things, and then you start getting a little bit curious.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like when my friends wanted to go to when I was growing up in Toronto, there was this jam culture, like parties that the younger girls wanted to go to, and then I had to be home for 4 p.m. every day. So it was kind of weird, like, I want to go to a party, but my curfew's 4 p.m.
So religion was very enforced by your mother, was very strict.
Yeah.
Okay.
But my mother is very, sex is bad, don't do it. If you do it, hell. You are going to hell, or you're going to get married and be forced into marriage.
Okay.
Yeah. You're going to get pregnant. Yeah, don't do it. So, like, as far as sex education goes, I got 0. I had a boyfriend when I was 18, and he was introduced to my parents, and after we broke up, my mother's assumption was that we slept together and that nobody's ever gonna want to be with me ever again. So there's just certain things you're not supposed to do, and sex is just one of them. So my mother avoided having those conversations with us all her life. Like, you really have to just go out there and learn on your own. And while you're learning on your own, there's also the guilt that you're feeling.
Right.
Like, I don't know, like, you're always like, I'm probably going to go to hell for this. It might feel worth it now, but like afterwards, like, there's certain guilt that you feel, and then you realize, like, you grew up with that guilt being instilled in your mind. And there's no way around that guilt except to unlearn some of the stuff that you were taught.
Hi, my name's Jacqueline DeGoff. I was raised Catholic. I still identify as Catholic, I just don't practice it as much as I did in the past. Yes, I was Catholic school from JK to grade 12. It was pretty strict growing up. My grandparents are very Catholic, like, followers, so like the religion a lot. So it was church every Sunday, and at church my sister and I would have to go to the Sunday school while parents stayed and went to Mass, and then if we were with my grandparents for a week, it would be church Monday through Sunday every morning. So it was pretty routine growing up. My dad was pretty active within the church. There's altar boy, and my grandfather collects the collection, and my grandmother does reading, and so does my great aunt, so they're all pretty active within their parish. Growing up, I feel religion had a big influence on my life because it was the main focus in school for 14 years of my life, and with the church every Sunday, and whenever we were with my grandparents, it was always, oh, what did you learn about a Mass this week, or did you go to Mass this week? So it's just, even to this day, it's still a big part of my life. I would never want to escape from religion. It consumed a lot of my childhood.
And how does that make you feel now?
Now, I've had other experiences in the world that have made me realize, like, religion isn't everything, and you can still live a normal life without having it burden you.
Moving on to high school, did you learn about sexual education?
I don't think I ever had a course per se on it. It was more of word of mouth kind of thing. Like, there was never you never got sat down and were told how to practice safe sex or anything about sex in general. My upbringing, with the Catholic faith, it still plays some role in my sex life, because I still in the back of my mind hear my grandparents and every teacher that I've had that has forced abstinence and safe sex and no sex before marriage. in the back of my mind, even though I know I don't have to conform to those ideologies. And I don't want to, but it's still like, whenever I think of when I'm going to have sex, that's what is still surrounding me.
Sure. So my name is Adriana Kristen.
Do you identify as Catholic?
I do. Like, I had a lot more of the views back then than I do now. I've kind of geared towards not really identifying as much with a certain religion, but I still would say that I'm Catholic. I don't know if it really, like, did influence my personal life, because when I was younger, I feel like it did, because I feel I always tried to make the right decisions because of, I always thought that, I grew up thinking that if you do good things, then you'll go to heaven, and if you do bad things, then you'll go to hell, and then you have to confess your sins, and if you don't do that, then you're automatically at the gates, the not good gates. And so I feel like that was an aspect as well, like that kind of changed or influenced my life. And yeah, guilt was a big one, I think, because I always felt like God was watching. When I was younger, I always thought, because it was so enforced in me, I always thought, I'm not going to have sex until I'm married. Like, that's going to be who I am. Like, you know, I want to wait for the right person. I want nothing to do with that before I'm married. But it turns out, like, once I got older, that is definitely not, and I, like, steered from religion. That's not, like, what I wanted at all. Yeah, I feel like because my religion kind of, or my spiritual aspect kind of went a little rocky there, it definitely changed my views too and opened my mind up too. So
my name is Kemi Abelaide. I'm Catholic. A basis for what we did was religious, for like everything.
Did you attend church
Every Sunday,
every Sunday?
Sunday school, it was a thing.
What was taught in Sunday school?
Mostly like Bible passages and how to live your life according to the Bible. So what things you're not allowed to do, what things you're supposed to be doing, stuff like that. Well, I wasn't allowed to do a lot of things. In my elementary school, a lot of it was more like a presumption of when you're married, this is what's going to happen and stuff like that. But in public school, it was like, we understand you will have sex. It doesn't have to be before marriage. Here are some options to take care of yourself. Because my mom didn't really talk to me about sex at all. So I didn't really learn anything from her or about what I was supposed to do. So in the back of my mind, I always assumed she was like, don't have sex until you're married. Don't do anything. All of this stuff is sinful. But growing up, that's what I believed in. But when I hit college or university, it was more like a liberal type school, so I learned that I had options. I didn't have to think the way of my religion.
Alright, so family, I come from a large family, both immediate family and extended families are quite large. I was obviously raised Catholic, went to church every single weekend on Sundays with my family. Went to a Catholic elementary school, Catholic high school. I just didn't really commit to the way the church wants you to live your life, so that's just the way it played out. But I'm not a worse person for it, I don't think. It also shaped a lot of my political views, for sure. Like, I would say, like, back in high school, for sure, I would say I was closed-minded in many ways. I never allowed it to make me, like, sort of, like, bigoted or anything. Like, I would say maybe I was bigoted towards, like, things like abortion. I had, like, a very pro-life, stance, I guess. But as far as me looking upon other things in the church, such as, like, homosexuality and stuff, I don't think it ever changed anything. Like, my aunts are lesbians, and we would never judge them in any negative way. My friend, he got his girlfriend pregnant when he was 14 years old in grade 9. He had a kid when he was 15. So, I mean, and he wasn't the only one, right? There was lots of young teen pregnant in our high school, and it's just the way it was. It's not that they were telling them, be abstinent. It's just kids are going to make mistakes, right? I know my religion probably wouldn't approve of my sex life.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's I guess I don't really care. I like growing up religious. You can be brought to church every single day, but if you don't sort of buy into it or stick with it, then it doesn't really affect you. It doesn't, and it won't influence your behaviors, right?
Right.
Like my my behavior, for more or less, is just a product of my surroundings. So, you are who you surround yourself with, I guess, and the experiences that you like engage in.
Right.
Like, if when I was younger, go to the bar, whatever happens, happens. So.